Have you ever heard someone say, no offense, but, and then they immediately say something offensive? Did saying no offense make you think that they were going to say something offensive? Well, our study looks at the effect of disclaimers on perceptions of sexism. Sexist behavior is something that people can receive backlash for due to social norms, and so they may choose to express sexist attitudes more subtly. To avoid appearing sexist, speakers use strategies such as disclaimers like, I'm not sexist, but. However, when disclaimers are used, some individuals may view the disclaimer as a cue that the speaker is prejudiced. Oftentimes, how we perceive expressions of prejudice depends on our propensity to make attributions to prejudice. Our study evaluated how perceptions of sexism are influenced by disclaimers and individuals' propensity to make attributions to sexism, or PMAS. We predicted that disclaimers would increase perceptions of sexism, and as individuals' levels of PMAS increased, they may be more likely to view a disclaimer as a cue for sexism. Using statements ranging from fact based, ambiguously sexist, and blatantly sexist, we varied which statements were preceded by a disclaimer and had participants rate how prejudiced they believed the speaker and the statement to be, the speaker's intent to be sexist, and whether the speaker was trying to get away with expressing sexism. Statements like, I think men are normally taller than women, I think I'd rather have a son than a daughter, and I think men make better leaders than women were used. We found that PMAS did not significantly interact with disclaimers in predicting perceived sexism, but disclaimers resulted in higher levels of perceived sexism for the speaker, higher levels of perceived intention to express sexism, and higher levels of the speaker trying to get away with expressing sexist views. This effect was most pronounced for perceptions that the speaker was aware they were potentially saying something that could be perceived as sexist. We also found that higher levels of PMAS were related to higher levels of perceptions that the statement and speaker were sexist, as well as higher levels of perceptions that the speaker was trying to get away with expressing sexism. PMAS appeared to be a strong predictor, which suggests that higher levels of PMAS are associated with perceiving a greater difference between relatively non sexist and highly sexist statements. These results suggest that disclaimers backfire and people are more likely to be suspicious about the intentions and prejudices of an individual when they use a disclaimer. Our research also suggests that people may be over hyper aware of potential prejudice for disclaimers to work. Future research can look to examine the intentions of individuals who use disclaimers. And although disclaimers might not be effective, individuals may use disclaimers when they want to talk about social outgroups but feel anxious about doing so.